Yeah, I kind of don't feel like looking for those headphones, so this is cool.
Yeah.
But hey, sound way better now.
Good.
Uh, Plugged up to my microphone.
Yeah,
Bonus
yeah.
features. This is being recorded after we both went and saw Black Widow yesterday.
Black Widow. It was so good.
Yeah, it was.
Review over. That good night, everybody.
Wow. Yeah, it was cool. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I watched the review actually after we got done looking at the film last night, and I kind of agree with this YouTuber Chris Stuckman. Been following his reviews for years. Really cool dude. Like his stuff. I kind of agree with what he said. Just that this film kind of came a little late. Like she kind of deserved a movie a long time ago, and it's sad that we got it after she. Spoiler alert for all those who've never seen this. Yeah, she's dead. So,
Yeah, in the
um,
MCU, she was killed in Endgame.
yeah, and they kind of
But good
just
for Scarlett Johansson. I'm sure she's ready to do some other things. It looks like shooting for this role is probably extremely physically rigorous.
yeah. Well, also, it just seems like this movie, again, kind of piggybacking off Chris Stuckman, is that kind of was just a filler to introduce us to other characters to kind of connect us to where the MCU is probably going to be going, which is fine. But, I don't know, just the main villain was kind of shitter. And I get it. There was this little, I guess, metaphor, if you will, for sex trafficking, as you pointed out last night.
Yeah.
I definitely got the heavy-handedness of women have choice and all that shit, which is cool. But you know,
I think so. I
I
was
mean, yeah,
recently reading a book and it said that autonomy is the god of women.
I would agree. I mean, I like to remain autonomous,
Yeah,
so
it's
I feel
cool.
like women should be able to do that as well.
Agreed. Agreed. So is this a spoiler free review or are we spoiling?
No, no, we can spoil some stuff. So, that was the
Okay.
spoiler-free one, kind of, sort of. Before that, and
Spoilers from here on out
yeah,
because I like
spoilers.
talking about stuff for real.
Yeah, yeah. All right, go ahead.
So are we gonna do a breakdown?
I mean, I don't remember exactly how everything happened scene by
I'm just
scene,
gonna
but
read the
the
real
move.
quick little blurb
Oh, I
here
was gonna
on.
say, okay, go ahead. Yeah, read
I'm
that.
breaking. Okay, real quick. Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, confronts the darker parts of her ledger when a dangerous conspiracy with ties to her past arises. Pursued by a force that will stop at nothing to bring her down, Natasha must deal with her history as a spy and the broken relationships left in her wake long before she became an Avenger.
Yeah. So, with that being said, she basically is on the run, as we had saw at the end of Civil War, uh, Captain America Civil War. She's on the run. So this
Yeah, because
film takes
she
place
teamed
between.
up with Kat,
Yeah, this film
who I
takes
felt was in the
place.
wrong in the Civil War. As a matter of fact, I don't usually side with Iron Man, but I agreed with him in Civil War.
Well, Iron Man's one of my faves, so I was going with him pretty much no matter what. But anyway, this
I try
happens
not to let
between.
my biases and influence my decision making.
I do that as well. I mean, I wasn't really on board with Cap. I think they kind of needed restraint. They needed to be kind
Not
of pulled back, and
just
they like. I mean, just
accountability.
can we just think about if. I mean, this kind of ruins it, but can we just think about if superhero movies were like done in fucking real life situations? Like,
It would
who's
be the
paying for
boys,
this damage? Who's paying for this shit?
the taxpayer. That's who.
Like, one of the funniest things from like the Incredibles was the fact that like when they started pointing out shit like that in the very first Incredibles, like, we gotta kind of cut down on these superheroes. Like, you guys are causing
Well, they never show the heroes coming back and cleaning up because you would
yeah,
need
they never do.
their expert. You know who would do that though? I bet. And this we're switching universes, but I bet Superman would
I knew
come
you were
back
gonna
and
say
like
him.
he's that type though. He'd be like, "Hey, you guys need help cleaning up? You know, I'm just
Just imagine Superman putting on some fucking overalls and some fucking paint, like
yeah." That's
scaffolding the fucking building and shit.
it's all wild. But yeah, we pick up with Natasha. I love that name by the way. That's always been one of my favorite names. I
One of my
love
good
it.
friends, his name is Natasha.
I know.
Natada.
And she's dope. So like yeah,
She's suffering
Natasha.
from a concussion right now, so I hope she's all right.
Oh,
I'm
bless
calling
her
her after
heart.
this.
Oh, prayers out.
Mhm.
But she's basically the movie picks up like when she's in a deep cover mission with like a fake mom, fake dad, fake sister. Their cover gets blown. They
This
gotta
is when they're younger, by the way,
yeah,
before
she was
Disney
like, it looked like
bought
she was
them.
8 and her little fake sister was 6.
Mhm.
So her little fake sister gets experimented on by the Russian government. It's kind of a throwback too, because it's been a long time since like the bad guys were Russian. Like lately, they, like they've kind of shied away from that trope. That's how it always was in the 80s. Like all the bad guys were like these Soviet, kind of thing. But
It's never America.
right. Well,
Oh,
America never does anything wrong. What are you talking about? We're
even when
leaving
Americans are
Afghanistan
doing it
finally. So
for now.
so everybody can just chill out. We're the best. So you know what? I will say one thing I didn't like, but I knew going in it was going to be like this. I don't like guns. So there's a
Hmm.
ton of gun
I mean,
violence. And
Black Widow does
I
not have
know
any
because she ain't got no
superpowers.
superpowers, so she's got to use. She's like a sharpshooter or whatever. So I get that, but I like much better. I like the scenes better when she's just kicking ass, like without the guns. I
I
don't
like
really.
fight scenes when they actually are done in wide shots and not all these fucking jump cut
It was
edits.
really like sometimes they'd be fighting. I'd be like, I don't even know who it is because like it's moving
Yeah,
so fast, I can't see their face.
yeah. I would just prefer, like those type of fight scenes, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon type shit,
I
where
love
we
stylized
can
fighting
actually
because then it's like
see them
dancing.
fight. We can see
Yeah,
them fight each other, and it's like people put in work. And I mean, I get it. Scarlett Johansson, it takes years to build that level of mastery. So kudos to her.
yeah.
But yeah, continue.
Mm. Oh yeah. So her fake sister, they link back up because the fake sister finds an antidote and basically they got to break their fake daddy out of jail. They link up with their fake mama and they kind of like get back together. They're like, because the whole point of the Black Widow thing, and this is just kind of how it's a parallel to human trafficking. It's like you just exploit poor um young girls who have no other options, and
Mhm.
then at this point they don't know any other life, so they're completely indebted to you. But the fact that they actually use like chemicals to like subvert their free will, and the whole point of the movie is trying to get this serum out so that they can break the spell on these girls who are basically just these mindless soldiers, basically like the super soldier program, but like yeah, except it's all girls, which was and apparently they all had to be super hot.
Always. I mean, let's just be real, man. I mean, nobody wants the fatties running around trying
Oh,
to
some
be.
people do.
Nobody, the fatties aren't. No, I'm joking. I'm just channeling my
I
inner
was about to
Bill
say a
Burr. I'm
lot
just
of people.
channeling my inner Bill
It's
Burr.
its own category on Pornhub, so you can't say
No, it
nobody.
definitely is. But I just feel like the physical. Well, that has nothing to do with being fat. You can be beautiful and be fat.
Yeah.
But the yeah, I guess they all kind of had to be cute, hot. I mean,
Well,
but why
actually,
not? If
that
I'm
did
gonna
make
have
sense.
assassin chicks,
It
yeah, it
made
just makes it
sense.
easier.
It does, because I was about to say a lot of times spies are like super hot because they
Hmm.
use the, like in Archer, use the honey pot.
Hmm.
People get real dumb when their genitals are engorged. So yeah, they
Okay,
do though. There's not. I mean, the blood is literally rushing there.
is that
They,
what happens?
huh?
People get that dumb when whatever you just said.
When they're horny, yes.
Man,
When your genitals get engorged, like when you get turned on, like that's where your blood goes. There's not enough blood for the dick and the brain. Like there just simply
uh,
isn't. So I gotta stay
is there enough
hydrated.
blood for the vagina and the brain?
Yeah, it's not that. It's not as. It doesn't take up as much mass. So there's still plenty of
Sounds
blood
like
left.
bullshit, but okay.
I don't have the science down, but I'm pretty sure like
I'm just going off what do you say. All right, whatever.
moving on. It does make sense in a way that because attractive people do have just more access and cachet in the world. So if you wanted your super sessions to be able to, you were asking me the other day how I got through the movie theater without the tickets. And I was like, dude, it was like, hey,
Did you
can
have
I just
boobs?
go in? Yeah, boobs.
Nerdy dudes
He
just
wasn't
like,
even that nerdy. It was just like, yeah. I was like, I'm waiting on no dude. Can I just go out there and get the popcorn? He was like, yeah. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, happens all the time.
It does though. Like a lot of times people, and once again, what's he getting paid? Like 12.50 an hour? He's like, I don't care. And it's assigned seating, so you can't even really sneak in anymore.
Um, sure. Says the people who were sitting in my fucking seat when I got there, but
No,
whatever.
you had I saw the
No,
ticket.
no, 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 no. I had H2 and H4. When we arrived, they were sitting in H3.
H2
They were sitting in
two and
H3 and
three. You.
H4. I
Oh,
had
they were sitting in
H2.
3 and 4. You're right.
Yes. Yeah, he was sitting in my
Wait, no,
fucking
they were sitting
spot.
in 2 and 3 because 1 and 4 were on either sides.
What, regardless, they were sitting in one of the spots that I paid for,
Okay, fair.
and they thought that was okay.
I mean, yes, they were a couple. They wanted to sit together.
Okay.
And
No, I mean, I'm not tripping. They were cool about it. They
and they
like,
were trying to keep a buffer because I get it. I don't like sitting next to people either, even though the people
yeah,
sitting next to
but
me were cool,
I,
but it
yeah,
was a
but
packed theater because like you were saying, you
uh,
didn't know they were back at
yeah,
full capacity.
I get all the reasoning, but
Okay,
hey, I paid for the seat,
sure.
and I don't know if they pay. They probably figured the same thing, like trying to keep a
Yeah.
buffer, whatever the fuck. But look, paid for the seat. You were sitting in my fucking seat. Get the fuck out. Just
It all worked out. Oh, and you missed it. You said you already saw it though, but seeing it in IMAX was fun. The GI Joe trailer that looks really. I love a good. We were just talking about Crouching Tiger. I love a good like stylized kind of kung fu martial arts movie. So even if the story is boo boo, I'll just enjoy the visuals. But I think it's going to be good. And I like that dude who's the lead from Crazy Rich Asians, Henry something. I like him. So I feel like he's going to be the new Jet Li. I'm calling that for him.
Rich Asians, but I heard it's. You told me it was good.
It is. It's a fun one. Just you'll see it. You're gonna see the movie. You'll figure out who he is. But
Okay.
anyway, Black Widow. I mean, if you're a Marvel fan, you'll like it. Like to me, and especially I was telling you, I don't know if it's just because I haven't been to the movies in so long, and it was just so fun to be in a theater, to eat popcorn and just have this super normal experience. I'm completely vaccinated, by the way, too. So I'm
Same.
waxed, ready to relax.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see Vax that ass up?
Yeah, I heard that juvenile shit. This is what it's come to.
It is what it's come to. They were covering on Bodega Boys. It was very funny where it was just kind of like, oh God, we're old.
I wouldn't even say that. I just kind of feel like I don't know. It's kind of corny,
It was. It was what mad.
but
It
I
was.
mean, he might need the money, so whatever.
And hey, it's a good message though. That's the thing. I really back the message. You should vax that ass up.
I'm gonna just go out
And
here and
here's
say
the
that the
thing.
person who juvenile, I'm gonna say I feel like he probably didn't get vaxxed, but whatever. I don't know. Maybe he did. But I just per his music, I just feel like
You're
he's not the
probably
gentleman.
right.
The
That's so
gentleman
unfortunate. But you
that
know
would
what? It'll
be
be a
getting
net
vaxxed.
good though, because I feel like it will influence people. Even if you don't, here's the thing about that song. I don't want to back that ass up. But it's like that song is, I don't know what that be. I don't know. They went into the depths of hell and got that beat.
Oh, greatest twerk song of all time.
It is, it's unstoppable. It's like, God, it's like now I'm about to lose all respect for myself because of the stupid, encroaching jaws like beat. It's like, doom, doom. We don't have to go there. But yeah, it felt really good to be in a movie theater. So I think that had a big influence on my experience of it. But to me, I was engaged the whole time. I was afraid I was going to fall asleep because I usually do fall asleep in movies. It's like dark and I'm
What a waste
sitting
of
and
$20.
reclined and everything. So, but I was wide awake the whole time. And I really like the actress who played her sister. What was the sister's
Yeah,
name?
Florence Pugh is the name of the actress.
Florence Pugh.
Yeah, but I don't remember her sister's name in the movie, to be honest with you.
I don't either. They just kept calling them the widows and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, she. Oh Lord,
their name is Sister. Anyway,
Yila.
yeah. Anyway, Sister. Florence Pugh, an awesome actress. Very very fun. Looks like her taking over. Spoiler alert.
I hope so. Because
Widow. It's
I
gonna be
would watch
interesting.
more of her. She was really, really funny and really
I
cute.
would watch more of her in the Dad actually.
Oh, yeah, because it's the dad. What was his? I keep calling him the dad from Stranger
Red
Things.
Guardian.
Say it again.
Red Guardian was his.
No,
pure
like the
man.
man, the
I
actor's
don't
name in real
fucking know
life.
his name in real life. He's just that actor that's like
The
in there.
sheriff from Stranger Things, he was fantastic. Like I have never cheered for a Russian villain harder in my life.
Yeah, he was good. I think I mean, one of my biggest things with movies like this is when we start incorporating accents. I'm always listening to hear if the accents break, and for him, it definitely did when sometimes he hit emotional scenes or when he got high pitched and like had to yell or something. The accent gone. Same thing with the fucking. I think his name is Ray Winstone, who's like the ultimate villain at the end. I think that's his actual name. He's a
Oh,
phenomenal
Dayford, what was his Davos?
yeah, I don't
Davos?
know. He's a fun. I love seeing him in stuff because he's just always a badass.
He
But
is. He's good.
he's like fucking Irish as hell. But he's like, he's supposed to be doing a Russian, and it kept going between this Russian Irish accent. I'm just like, which is he? Um,
So on a scale from Forrest Whitaker in Black Panther to Chaz McBoseman in Black Panther, like
wait,
we're
what the fuck kind of scale is that?
because Forrest Whitaker's was really
Oh,
bad.
you mean accent wise? Okay, got you. I
Yeah,
thought you were gonna say
yeah.
grading the movie.
No, 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 just accents. Like it with
I've heard a lot of people say Forrest Whitaker's accent was shit, but I'm gonna be honest with you, sounded African to me, and that's just me being ignorant.
I actually for authenticity took an African with me to see Black Panther
Yeah.
to see what was really African and what really wasn't. And she was like, it was legit. She was like, except for Forrest Whitaker's accent. She
I
was like,
mean,
I don't know what that was.
I don't like he sounded cool to me, but again, not you know
I mean, I couldn't pick it up,
African
but I don't
descendant, but I'm
know.
not obviously I haven't
I don't know what the
been
accents are.
experienced in yeah, I don't either. So like I
And
was just
neither
like
does
he was
Forrest Whitaker apparently. So,
yeah,
but
I was
love to
like
him though, because I'll still watch the shit
yeah,
out of that movie. But
I was like he
yeah,
was fine to
apparently
me.
that wasn't good. But she said Chadwick Boseman was legit.
I mean, Chadwick
He was really good though
yeah, I
at his
mean,
job.
he's in the league of his own. But
Yeah,
not and that doesn't discredit because Forrest Whitaker is fucking awesome too when he's
sure,
given the right material.
sure.
Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I would say, I mean, Red Guardian Dad, his accent, I don't know, I can't do scales, so I'm just gonna say, I mean, I would give him like a 7.5, 8, even 8. Ray Winstone, I think that's his name, super baddie guy.
Hmm.
Sex traffic
Boss
red,
villain.
yeah, boss villain, sex trafficker dude. Um,
We'll call
I
him
don't know.
Jeffrey Epstein.
I'd have to give him like a fucking 1 actually. Like he's not.
Ooh.
He's
And see, I wasn't thrown by it at all. I didn't know he was Irish, and I didn't. And one thing, I don't know
nope.
enough about Russian accents, period, though. And I
If you've
appreciate
seen
the
him, in,
fact that they didn't even try to make Scarlett Johansson do one.
well, I just figured I was willing to. No, she did speak in Russian at like
She
when she.
spoke in Russian, but when she was speaking English, it was
No,
unaccented
yeah.
English.
Well, I was willing to forgive that because I just felt like
I didn't want a
she
Halle
had
Berry situation or the Storm situation. That stuff still drives me
well, no,
crazy.
I just felt like she had spent more. Like she obviously got out of that life and spent more time in America, and so I feel like she just kind of was adopting that. So that's how I rationalized it in
That's
my head.
realistic. And actually, a lot of spies do master
Yeah,
accents. So there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the fact too that she defected to America and wanted to fit in and stuff, it
yeah.
totally tracked. I was just saying I appreciate the fact they didn't even try to make her do one.
hmm Yeah, no. And again, that was something I picked up on, and I was just like, oh no, she's probably just like more
And
Americanized
I'm super
because
glad it was good too, because I want to see her win. I think her and Colin Jost are so cute. I know like people get overly invested in
uh,
celebrity relationships, but I like,
totally taking a different part. Didn't even know who she's with. Didn't really care, but great for
yeah,
her.
I do apparently. Apparently, I'm super invested in the fact that she's married to Colin Jost and they're super cute together. And I I'm here for it. So I want to see her win.
Man,
Um,
fuck all that. I'm rooting
I
for
want more
anybody that's
girl
black.
movies. Like I told you when it was over yesterday, the shows women can just be just as violent as men. There you go.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with the women
It's
kicking
super
ass.
violent. That's the thing with Marvel, and I get it. It's superhero stuff. It's
It's
action
really
stuff,
not that
but
violent.
it's insanely violent. Like we're just desensitized to
Yeah,
it.
okay, you say that. I'm just saying, like, it barely shows any blood or anything. So, like,
Just people dying. So yeah, you're allowed to be wrong.
it kind of doesn't even really show that though. it shows like what happens, like build
We
like
in the
stuff will
first
blow
like
up and we
in the
assume
first
people are
20
in it.
minutes, one of them widows falls off a building and like we watch her die.
Yeah, that I said not really. Like she's the only one. That was the
And
most
we don't
gruesome
and we're
scene in
not
the
supposed
entire
to care
film.
about any of the Russian prisoners that got wiped. We said spoiler. They
But
get wiped out.
again,
Oh, that avalanche scene was nice though. Like the jailbreak scene.
that was cool. My favorite scene was when they were skydiving at the end.
Oh, that made me like literally anxious.
No, I mean I loved it because like from a
We
just a
watched it in IMAX too.
yeah. All movies should be watched in IMAX. But
Yeah,
anyway, well,
definitely.
not all, but those type of movies should definitely be watched in
Yeah,
IMAX.
it really benefited from it because I really did. I was like, oh, I want this part to be over because it's driving me
No,
crazy.
it
But I'm
was
like,
great.
duh, she obviously survives it because she dies later.
I really like that's another thing with these fucking films is like
I don't care.
again,
I'm not thrown by that.
no, it's just like no, I am sorry, gonna get on my
And
angry.
plus, I'm
I'm
a.
gonna get on my
All right, go ahead.
storyteller rant real quick. Yeah, the stakes are not fucking high.
Talk
Like
your
if I
shit.
know she's already dead in another movie, like any danger that you put her in does not really make me like be like, oh, I'm fearing for my life or fearing for her life. Like I already know she survived. So like just from a storytelling standpoint, that's
Well, there
really
were
not
other
good.
characters that I was invested in
But yeah,
besides
I was fearful
just.
for their lives because these was the first time I've been introduced to those characters,
Yeah.
especially like the dad and the sister. Um,
Right.
but like everybody else, I was just kind of like, well, not everybody else, really just Black Widow. I was just like, I mean, she's not gonna die, so I don't.
She does have plot armor for sure. But we're
Yeah,
about to start getting into the multiverse and also like just being a comic book fan, they could do anything. Like we all the time people come back. It's like a soap opera and be like, dun dun dun, you had an evil twin.
yeah. I
Like
mean, that's
you
cool.
it'll be all this all kind of stuff.
I
So
don't even want
you
that.
never really, as long as they take me on a ride, and I love, and I know that with origin stories, you just have that anyway. And I don't mind that with an origin story, just like reading Wolverine's origins and stuff like that. Like it's still a good story, and that's what I'm invested in. So even if some of it's already spoiled because I know the plot, for people who, let's say this was their first Marvel movie and they never watched anything else, it's still a good standalone movie. So if you didn't know any of this stuff, to me, even knowing this stuff, it didn't take me out of it.
No, I think that's fair. Just from a storytelling standpoint, it just kind of doesn't
So
work for
that
me.
I was gonna ask you too, what didn't you like? So that's something you didn't like.
Yeah, that
Because that was one of the the criticisms about it is that it was released too late. Like this should have been
yeah,
way earlier in
yeah.
the release schedule.
Stakes could have. I mean, they literally could have made this literally after Civil War, but like that's the. But I mean,
Well, they
I
could
give
have
Marvel.
released it because I feel like this has been made.
No, they started shooting this 2019. I want to say it
Oh
was after. It
wow.
was after. It was after Civil War for sure.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, I'm
like,
once again, I don't know the production schedule, but
or
the
maybe they
production
start. But
value was
again,
amazing.
they probably shoot stuff like out of order. So like they might have
Yeah,
shot some scenes back then, and this was
that's
like,
what I'm
because I mean
saying.
they have to storyboard all of this shit. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't fucking know. Hire me, Marvel. Anyway,
Yes, Disney, we love you. Also, I love the fashion.
yeah.
The and fashion and hair. I mean, it's one of those things that I'm really the costume design now, something I really go hard on now. And I really enjoy, and I always every time I see it, I'm like, damn it, I need that harness, like that thing that goes around her waist and her thighs, and
Yeah.
where she keeps like all the her little guns and stuff, I guess. I was like, that would be nice for my phone and my keys, so I hate wearing a purse. I feel like purses are a part of
Also,
sexism, to keep women, to keep our shoulders misaligned
uh,
so that we can't
okay,
fight the man. So I need a
sure.
sexy Black Widow hip harness for my things so that I have both of my arms, elbows, shoulders free to fight villains.
Also, other baddie in the film, Taskmaster, was kind of shitter.
Who?
Taskmaster, the daughter that was the fuck spoiler.
Oh yeah, I knew from jump that was gonna be a girl because I was like, "Is they're trying to make it seem like it's this dude?" But I was like, "Nah, it's a girl." But I didn't see it coming that it was gonna be the daughter. And the fact that he gave the daughter the serum, because that's cold as hell.
I just, I don't know.
Because really,
like,
imagine giving that to your
they don't
daughter.
give villains the credit that they deserve. They don't give them the storylines I feel like they deserve. And like, it really just was kind of like, oh, let's just shove Taskmaster in here. I don't know.
I never read any of the Black Widow comics, so I don't know like where was that, and I don't really know.
Well, I mean, I never really read
I'm
them
not
either,
familiar
but
with that
just
villain.
from watching just other films where they've done this kind of same thing, like that was one of the biggest critiques of Iron Man 3 was like Mandalorian or the Mandarin wasn't even the Mandarin. Like he was just like this fucking actor that like it was a wasted character basically.
Okay, so where they could have done like sort of a Killmonger thing, they just did a
Yeah, and I
Mandarin
get it.
thing.
Like not every person is gonna be a Killmonger, or if we're talking DC
Or a
or
Joker.
Joker or stuff like
Yeah.
that. But like, you know, I want them to be a worthwhile. You know, like for instance, when we went to see Spider-Man, Homecoming. I think that's the first one that came out.
Yeah.
2017. When we went to see that,
Because
like,
they go to Homecoming.
I was so just compelled by Joker or not Joker, Vulture.
Yes,
because
he's very
like
relatable.
he was
And Michael
like, I was like,
Keaton is
oh
a good actor.
yeah, he's like, oh, he's a bad guy.
I
But
know
like,
you don't
I
care, but
understand why
like, did
he's a
you see
bad
that
guy.
like Zendaya and that Holland guy are dating
Oh,
in real life? They got caught kissing. I'm sorry, I love celebrity gossip. That's what they're here for.
yeah, sure, whatever. Interracial love. Great.
Whatever. They probably have almost the exact same. Not to discount her blackness, but she's barely like sometimes you have to squint. She's gorgeous though, and I love her, but it's
Yeah,
barely
she's
interracial.
whatever. I don't know, man. Like, do your thing. I'm all for
Their
love.
kid's gonna look
Whatever.
like both of them. It's fine.
If they stay together, I don't fucking know. Congrats for them. I'm glad. Or were they just kissing because fuck you guys, and we're gonna make this.
You
hit the
know what?
news
Exactly. We
cycles.
don't have to put all that on them. They can just I don't need to know their business. I'm perfectly fine if they just make the movies for us. But yes, The Vulture was very compelling.
When I become a
And
celebrity, I'm just gonna do
now
shit
the
to
Vulture
create
was in an
headlines.
interracial relationship for real, like
Oh no, he definitely
unmistakably.
was. He definitely was. And his daughter was
Unmistakably.
like black. Like
She wasn't black. Everybody was still very,
no,
very light
not
skinned.
no. She was.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, she's not like Zendaya complexion at all. Zendaya, however you say her name. She was like your complexion.
They could easily be cousins, and I'm darker than her.
Not the daughter that was like the Mary Jane substitute, but wasn't really Mary Jane. Like, no, she was definitely like your complexion. We can go back and look at it. So
We're
for
not gonna
her
get
dad to be white, I was just like, oh,
I
okay.
protest all this colorism in general. Like listen, what they're trying to do, and I've peeped game from a long time ago. This is where all this Hollywood racism is coming from. It's very difficult to light a scene for a very dark person and a very light person. That's not racism. That's just physics because the camera has to pick a person to get exposure on. So a lot of times somebody else gets left
That's
out.
not even the point I'm making.
I'm this point I'm making. So now there's no excuse because we can correct for all of that stuff if we have to. So, but I remember back in the days in the equipment they had, they probably is like, listen, we need everybody the same complexion. That's why there had to be black movies and white movies because of the lighting people. I'm just joking, but maybe not really.
Yeah, just light the fucking film, bro. I mean,
come on, Disney. We have all kinds of like fire monsters
the
and
technology
we can light a dark skinned person and a light skinned person.
They literally fucking made Soul. Like you can light a fucking black person.
But they could do whatever lighting and animation. I'm talking about in real life.
You
have to light human beings. Think about how long it takes to set up just lighting one person.
A lot of those scenes are constructed in After Effects anyway, and like shit like that. So like, I don't want to hear that. You can light.
I'm agreeing with you. Like we're on the same point at this point in technology. I'm talking about with the old tech. That's why back in the days,
I don't even watch those.
They had to keep them separated because the lighting union was like, look, y'all are making us work too hard, and it's hot now. The lights aren't even that hot, so it's cool.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about that.
We
I never
can
watched those. Never just said I've never even seen Ten Commandments and that bullshit. So
what and see, I
I don't
love
want to
those
watch that movie. I'm
movies.
sorry. And yeah, I know you're gonna be like, it's nostalgia.
No,
I don't give a
no,
fuck. I
I
don't want to see what
understand.
I don't want to see white people playing Africans. I don't.
I know, I get it. I'm not saying like you need to go see it. I'm just saying because just nostalgia factor. I'm just like,
Right?
oh, those movies. But yeah, it's totally messed up. Like having
I don't want to see that.
British ass Elizabeth Taylor play African ass Cleopatra. It's kind of weird, but whatever. Even if she was Greek, or well, she was Greek, it's like, okay, well, that's still a whole nother look. So yeah, but moving on
Cleopatra.
back
Wait, was
to
Greek?
huh?
Cleopatra was Greek.
Well, that like the mass, they were everything. That's the whole thing. Whenever you have a landmass, everybody's everything, especially like millennia ago. So they try to say like she was Macedonian or whatever, like that was when they had taken over.
Man, look, man, they just try to say shit because fuck that. Then if that's the case, then Italians are fucking African because the Moors fucking invaded
I
Italy. So
mean,
like, get the fuck out of
Italians
here.
just graduated to whiteness like maybe a couple decades
When
ago.
you say a couple, that's like 50 decades, or not 50, but like 5 decades ago, which is like 50 years. So like,
They,
no,
I don't
I'm
know,
not doing
man.
this. I'm not doing this. I just want to
Join us next time on Who Gets to Be White.
public service announcement, like to black people, and like I don't mean this out of ignorance, but like people try to be like, well, I'm not white, I'm fucking this or that. Look, from the standards of what society is saying and what we've all been conditioned to feel like, Italian, Irish, whatever the fuck, those are all white people to us.
Well, once
So
again, I don't consider anybody white though.
right, I get that, which is why I just said what I said. The
Okay.
standards of what society is trying to
Well, those are
condition us
maybe
in.
people who consider themselves white, but in my mind,
but
nobody gets
but
white
but it
status.
doesn't matter. When I look at you, I don't know until I talk to you and get to know you, and maybe if you have an accent, I might pick up on it. But until that, like if you get stopped in the car and I get stopped in the car, they're gonna think you white. So I'm tired of people trying to say this like,
Speaking
well,
of
I'm
white, like Scarlett Johansson's white Black Widow outfit, because I said she looked like a sexy stormtrooper.
yeah.
Like it was legit. Like it looked really, really good. And also too, the wig game's been stepped up. It wasn't perfect. There's some changes I would
Okay.
have made, but the hair
Just
was
totally trying to make a
fantastic.
message out here for everyone, but that's cool. Let's talk about Scarlet
Well, we
Widow.
were it's not supposed to be a message. It's supposed to be
No, it's
a
totally
Black
a
Widow
message. I want
review.
people to stop doing that.
I
Like, I'm
know,
not
but I
this.
just want to have a Black Widow review because it was a
Okay.
good
I do. I
movie.
sit here for hours
Should she be
talking
called
about,
Black Widow or Red Widow? That's the only other criticism I had too. Of course, this would have gone back years and years ago in the comic book, but wouldn't Red Widow be like a better?
well, first of all, she's not even the only Black Widow. So to call her that is kind of like, I don't know, just, I feel like improper
It's
because
just
she's not
weird
the
because
only
we have
one.
Black Panther. Like I don't know, man. It'd be like if I was in a movie, if I was
But
starring in a movie called
The spider is
The
called a
White.
Black
Like
Widow.
what if I was in a movie called The White Shark and it was starring me, my black ass? It's kind of
Um,
weird.
no, not really, because the
All
spider is
right,
called
it's
a
coming
Black Widow.
coming this fall. White
The
Shark.
spider is called a Black Widow, though, so I can
It
see
is,
that one gets
yeah.
kind of a pass for me, just because of like I know what they're trying to do. Although,
Still,
also another thing, another me ranting: stop putting black in front of shit for black people, like
I'm
Black
okay with
Panther
that.
and Black. No, I'm not at all. Just
But it
I'm just
Panther
this.
isn't enough. Like I liked Black Panther. I like it when stuff is
Black
black.
Panther
I'm
is the
fine with
only
saying
exception, but I
black.
don't need Black Lightning. I don't need Black Lightning.
I do.
I
That's
don't
why I
need
know
that.
it's
All right,
no. I need it.
that's how they will know it's for the black people. Like, no, I don't
But I
want
do
that.
need that.
Like
I do need to know. I want to get to the black one.
Black Superman, black, like I don't
No,
need
I
that.
don't like
Just
that.
stop
No,
trying to
I don't like.
blackify everything.
Okay, so like Black Superman, I don't like that. Or like Blackula and stuff like that. Stuff's dumb. But like if it's something new and it's just like, hey, it's black. I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
But
but can I just no, I don't want you.
it just reminds
First
me
of
of
all,
that.
you
Oh,
literally just sat here and talked about you don't want to use color. So then don't use
no, no,
color.
no. No, I didn't say I don't want to use color. I just said I don't recognize whiteness as being a status. Like nobody's white. Kids point that
Right,
out to
but
us all the time. You're just light ass people. Like, and there's just lighter shades of brown. Like everything's coming from the same black assness, and then there's just different. Like it gets lighter, but it's not like white people or
I do
some sort of
not want
separate
to. I don't want to
thing.
be called black anything. I want to be called just the thing. Like
All right, I
I don't.
recognize that, and that is
Yeah,
your preference, and that is fine.
and it can be for. Why can't it just be for everybody? Like it doesn't have. Like obviously, I want to appeal to black people because I consider myself a black man. But like I also, want everybody to enjoy it. So maybe not be black this thing. Maybe just be
Sure.
the thing.
And actually, I didn't even mind the like. I mean, there were some black
Like Blade is
girls.
just called Blade.
Sure.
Like he ain't called Black Blade.
Okay. Point taken. Yes, Black Blade would be a worse title. But I'm gonna think that now every time I see it. Okay, back to see it now. I forgot my point about the daggone movie. Going back with all this colorism making me race trauma in me. Okay, so Scarlett Johansson. Um, I don't know, man. She's dope. I liked her portrayal, even though oh, that's what it reminded me of when Paul Mooney made that joke about
Rest in peace,
Hollywood.
Paul Mooney.
Yeah. He made that joke about how Hollywood goes too far because it was like The Mexican starring Brad Pitt and The Last Samurai starring Keanu Reeves. And now we got Black Widow starring ScarJo. He was like, I got a movie. It's called The Last Nigga on Earth starring Tom Hanks. Like, and that's how it would go. That's all I'm saying. It's just like it's like the movie African Queen. Because I remember when I heard that title, I was like, "Ooh, African Queen! I want to watch that." It's like starring Audrey Hepburn or some shit. Not Audrey Hepburn, May Catherine Hepburn. And it's like, what?
Oh fuck out of here!
It's like,
Watching that shit. I'm
oh
not watching
no.
anything that. No, I'm not watching any of that.
Yeah, but it turns out the African Queen was like the name of a boat. It was like,
But they know what the fuck they doing.
yeah, it's like
Like, I'm not falling for the
I don't like that little stuff. Like that to me, that's not cool. So,
they know what they're doing.
like
Like
I said, they got
there's
their
a meme out there with a white dude like I guess honoring Tupac, but he does some poses like Tupac did, and they were like, in 100 years, people gonna say this is Tupac.
right. Well, I think that's what happened to Jesus too.
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, Caesar Borgia knew what the fuck he was doing.
They all
I also
know.
know, like, I mean, Caesar Borgia was a fucking like monster, but
All the
I
Borgias. But
think,
that's why we still say their names. Like
well, a lot of
we
people
don't
don't
know
know
who
that
our
he's
answer from that
Jesus.
time period. We don't know who our answers are, but
Yeah.
we know him.
Well, a lot of people don't know that like he's the model of Jesus that we often see, and I
Yeah.
think like from a strategist standpoint, that's fucking dope. Like he knew,
PR.
like, yeah,
Yeah. You got it out
from a
there.
public relations, he
Yeah.
was like, you know what?
I'm out
Let's
there.
make all these pictures look like me.
Yeah.
And like now
like,
now grandma got white Jesus in her home.
Yeah, loves them too. Trying to get a lace
he
front
looks
that
like
looks
some
just like them
fucking
waves, them beach waves.
he looks like some fucking conqueror back in the
Yeah.
fucking what he was he in.
And he would have been short. I like to remind people too, like Jesus would have been like 5'3".
Oh, he's definitely he's
He would have had hairy toes and been like about 5'3".
nobody's listening to him.
Yeah, no, it would have just been crazy rabbi time. We're so off topic. I wanted to talk more about the movie. Okay, so I think my favorite scenes were the jailbreak. I love a jailbreak, and the fact too, like, because we're not supposed to care at all about those Russian prisoners, but they had lives. Like they had hard lives. Maybe they were just like, listen, we're doing them a favor. They no longer have to stay in a Russian jail in Siberia. I'm assuming it was like in Siberia.
Wait, what?
That Russian jail that they broke the daddy out of.
Yeah, what about that?
Like the fact that like there was an avalanche that like pretty much killed everybody there.
That made you sad?
Yes. Like that's the thing. You're not even supposed to care about these. They were people.
No, I think I care. I think about stuff like that. Like, oh, like actually, when they were shooting up those guards, I was thinking like, man, he just came to work today. Like, he wasn't even like he's doing his fucking job.
Yeah. And like, what if they're like, oh, we were unable to identify bodies, no insurance money. Sorry, you maybe you can join Black Widow
See,
program. Sorry for the accent, but you
See,
get what
these
I'm.
are all the things that never get addressed in movies like this.
Yeah, like
Nobody
these
wants
people.
politics. I want to go to the movies and see shit blow up. All right.
If they had
That's
done a
the
thing like
American way.
later where they were like, actually, they were able to go to another part of the prison where they were protected from the avalanche or whatever. But
Well,
no,
no,
these.
some of them got inside and shit. Like they got inside the
But then
doors.
they were covered in an
I mean, they
avalanche.
can climb out of that.
Listen, okay, sure, that it all worked out. Disney,
And I mean,
but
just
no,
depends on
it's
what story you want to go with.
it.
Like,
Yeah, it just if you're focused on the main characters, fine. But what do you think of the part when she let the taskmaster, what was it, task force,
Taskmaster.
taskmaster, when she let her out of the jail, even though knowing like she had no free will and was going to do everything within her power to kill her if she let her out.
I mean, she kind of put her there in the first place, so yeah.
Yeah, because in
Um,
the movie, it's like I'm just assuming people who are listening to this, it's because you want to talk about the movie, but you haven't seen it yet. So I'm just gonna tell you, like, Scarlett Johansson's character, Natasha, when she was like still working as a spy, she ended up killing a little girl trying to take her father out. And she's always lived with this guilt. Turns out the daughter didn't die, and neither did the target she was trying to kill. And he turned her into like a super soldier into this Black Widow program. So, like, he subverted her free will, and she's got this badass suit and helmet and stuff like that. And she's just like an unstoppable killing machine, kind of like Bucky. I'm not even gonna get into that, but like and she's locked up, and Scarlett Johansson lets her out knowing that she's going to try, because the building's about to collapse and stuff like that, so she's trying to get her out. And so it's supposed to be this sort of turning point for the character. We love a character art, we love redemption, so I was with it. But
I mean, I was fine with it. Like, I mean, she was trying to. Okay, fuck this. I'm about to just go on this movie.
okay.
Um, First of all, fine. The reason this movie doesn't make sense to me is if you've seen Endgame, where Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, dies, she's still carrying this guilt. Like, I have blood in my ledger, and I want to. So, like, that's the whole reason she sacrifices herself versus, as opposed to Hawkeye, and she kills herself, and for the good of whatever the fuck they need to get the stones or whatever the fuck they are. But like, what the fuck? Like, this movie totally kind of discredits that because she saves the girl that she fucking blew up, and like all the widows come together at the end and everything's all cool. So it's kind of like you kind of redeemed yourself in a way. So you didn't really need to kill yourself.
In that instance, but we don't know everybody she's killed in every
No,
situation with.
fair. But like,
Because
unless
remember,
they,
the daddy was like, "Girls, you killed so many people. I'm so
yeah,
proud of
I
you."
know, fair, but I just,
Sorry for the
I
accent.
feel
I'm
like
sorry. I
this.
like it. Feels good to do it though, because it sounds. I like
I
how
feel
it
like
feels.
this was like the thing because that is even in the movie. That's what she's made like the thing why she wanted to get out of the life, and that was they even explained like that was one of the main reasons. And so I just feel like they could have really took this Black Widow story a totally different way. I saw a lot of people reference the fact that like she references Budapest a lot in her other movies, and where she was like, we'll talk about it between her and Hawkeye, and like apparently some real shit went down there. That would have been a totally better movie, I think, actually. Like I would love to see her like in this fucking non-winning situation, Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid type shit, her and Hawkeye, and they got to shoot their way out of some shit and kill a whole bunch of motherfuckers. I would have liked to see that, like personally, like John Wick style, but that's not what we got. We got some
No,
fucking family is family Vin Diesel
I
ass
liked
fucking
it.
rip off movie. And
I
like,
liked it. It
no,
made me
I
feel
liked it.
good.
I liked it. And I'm glad this is
You
one of
made
the
it sound
times.
like you didn't like it. You were kind of
No,
wrong.
I'm just going from a storytelling
Okay.
standpoint. Like,
Okay.
make it make sense. I
Okay.
liked it. I want to
Well,
see
what
Black
about the
Widow.
fact that they kind of, because I was expecting to see like some ballet
I
stuff.
liked it. I didn't love it. And yeah, I would
Okay.
have liked to see that. I would
Oh,
have.
and I kind of appreciated them leaving that out, because I feel like it's kind of like every Batman movie showing the, pearls and the gun and all that stuff. We don't need to see that every single time, even though that's not to say like we've just seen so many Black Widow movies. But whenever I do think of Black Widow, I think, Russia, ballet, spying. There's just certain tags that come up in my head when I think of it. So the fact that they didn't go to that, well-known thing about her. I don't know, like,
No, that's cool. And they did the similar thing in Spider-Man: Homecoming when they rebooted Spider-Man. Like they didn't like do the Uncle Ben getting shot. It was just like he kind of references it. It's
yeah,
not the plot point.
yeah.
So
And we
I like that. We all
yeah,
know these stories at this point.
yeah.
And if
I
you don't, read the fucking comics.
Or don't. I mean, you don't have to. If you just like going to the movies are fun. I feel like Disney's doing a pretty good job. I loved it, but like I said, I might have just been really happy to be back at the movies. Seeing they I feel like they didn't hit the feminism too hard on the head. Like
I
they
appreciate that.
yeah, I liked that's something I really enjoyed
I
about it.
appreciate this
Where it's
is
just like we're women in the film and we're not going to talk about like because I felt like
no, I
What was the who's the girl one?
Wonder Woman.
No, the Marvel one with old girl
Oh,
in the
Captain
space.
Marvel.
Captain Marvel, thank you. Like that one to me was a little more heavy-handed with it, even though I did enjoy it. But
Captain Marvel was
I'm
cool.
old enough to remember when the made for TV like Incredible Hulk and Spider-Man movies that used to come on like
Oh,
network
shitter.
television and were garbage, but I loved them because there was finally these characters from my comic
I would
books and
never watch that shit.
but at the time, there's nothing else.
Ugh.
I loved it in a B movie kind of way, and so now that we have these like huge production Disney style production films with these characters that I've loved since I could basically read. To me, it's really really fun. So I understand when people like don't like Marvel movies; they feel they're really common denominator, and it's just Disney. Like, but for me, there's just a part of like my inner
um,
child who's just
there's an
really happy to see these
oversaturation of
characters.
them. I mean, it's kind
I
of
said it's
like
my inner child. I don't care nothing about
no,
oversaturation.
well, I do kind of because I watched a breakdown of the movie Logan, and they were like, Logan is actually way deeper in a nutshell than we think. It's not just a superhero movie. It's actually like
Oh, it's a good movie.
a
Like,
it's a
yeah.
but it's a reference to like we are oversaturating superhero movies and like the reason Logan is like it is it's shot in the style of a western. And what happened to the western movies? Like we don't really see a lot of them anymore because in the fucking 50s 60s and shit they made hella westerns. And so
Mhm.
like now you would be hard pressed to see the western. Same thing with gangster movies. Like I mean the fucking 70s 80s and 90s were all gangster films. And
Yeah, the
um
pendulum it
so I
has
feel
to
like the
swing.
same thing is kind of happening with superhero movies. It's like
I
we're
would like to, like I said, this is my inner child who's finally happy to see these characters in a big, glossy way. And the fact, too, that I don't know that without them, there'd even still be comic book stores. Like if we didn't have
sure,
these movies, and would the industry even be able to survive now when we think about what's happened to bookstores? Or because when I was little, I used to be able to get comic books almost everywhere because there was no it was
yeah, I'm gonna take
entertainment.
a kind of capitalist view to this. I would love for all artists to be able to make money from their art. Me as a guy who just likes convenience, I'm probably not gonna go to the comic book store, so I would rather just order it from like an Amazon or something, and that's fucked up.
But part of my child it's nostalgia. Like part of my childhood is,
Yeah.
for one, being able to get up to the comic book store, and then it's like, oh my god, so I'm here now. You get to see it, it would be like going to a toy store because I don't really get that experience anymore either. Like going to Toys R Us and going up and down the toy aisles, even if you can buy anything, just being in that space was just like, wow, look at all this stuff. And
No, it's dope,
even
but
going to a
also just
comic
go to
book store
Comic Con.
now, it feels Comic Con isn't a comic book store. Like it feels, if you don't like the
Yeah,
experience, you just don't. But if you
I didn't
like
say I didn't
going,
like it. I'm just arguing the point that like
I'm just saying
uh,
I really, really like going into comic book stores, and I'm glad they're still around. And I have a feeling that if it wasn't for the Marvel franchise, they wouldn't be anymore. There would be a lot. They'd be
I
far and few
totally agree with
between.
that. Totally agree with that.
So on
But I
that
also
note,
feel like they're gonna kind of overstay their welcome because they're making so many at a high
well, I
volume,
mean, it's
and
Hollywood.
people
They
are gonna
have
get
to
bored. People are gonna get
squeeze
bored.
all the blood out of that turnip. Like
But I
it's
don't.
about
But that
money.
see, so the artist in me doesn't like that
But
though.
there's
Like
no
I
artist
want
without
us to.
commerce. So what are we gonna do?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we have to put one out every fucking year. Like
I think we
put one out
do.
every so. Okay, I
I
don't
mean,
think so.
I think their schedule. I mean,
I think
and let's
make it as
compare
good as it's supposed to
to
be.
would you? Because I don't want to go into a whole DC thing, and also too, because this is going to take forever to render. So, what do you want to? What do you want to say? Just as a, would you recommend people go see it?
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
me
it's
too.
not a movie that I feel like don't go see.
Yeah, and
I'm
out of
giving
all
critiques
the
from an artist in a storytelling standpoint,
okay,
not from
fine.
a.
But to me, the storytelling was engaging because I was in it from top to bottom. Oh, what do you think of the post credit scene?
eh,
Explain what happened.
uh Julia Louis Dreyfus is now in a Marvel movie just like everybody else, and she
I
meets
still call her Elaine. I was like, oh yeah, Elaine's in this. I forgot.
Florence. She meets Florence Pugh's character. Shows her a picture of Hawkeye, while Florence Pugh's character sister is mourning the death of Black Widow Natasha Romanoff, and says, "Hey, this is the guy who's involved with the death of Black Widow. You might want to check him out." And then it ends dun 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 style,
Dun, dun,
and then
dun.
I mean, yeah, it's a cool setup, I guess, but I honestly kind of don't give a fuck.
I'm still engaged.
I'm
And especially,
engaged,
oh,
like I
this is
like
what I've
it. It's
been wanting
just
to ask you too. Have you been watching Loki?
no.
Okay, well then let's just, okay, bye.
Why? Because I haven't watched Loki or Falcon and Winter
Well,
Soldier
no,
or
no,
any of
no.
that
It's
shit.
just because this is going on a little long, and because I wanted to talk, like, because it's all gonna come together because it's all canon.
No, I
Because
know
here's
it.
the
I
other thing too,
know,
because
and
even knowing who's gonna die, it's not gonna matter when they introduce the multiverse.
I don't like that from a storytelling standpoint. Because from a storytelling standpoint, if I sacrifice my fucking self like Iron Man did, that is a mute point. Like it discredits what he did. I don't
I
like
love
that.
an
I
alternate
don't like.
view. I love it. I love an
Yeah,
alternate
that's cool.
universe.
Like, so
Like
that's
I love
cool
what
to bring
Star
them
Wars
in
did with it,
maybe
or
and do
Star
like a
Trek.
couple of episodes, but I don't want that to be a running thing. Like, hey, we killed him off, but he's not really dead, so there's no
I
stakes.
I don't. Yes, there are because there's still our main universe. Like just like we're in our main universe. Like I think it's you're giving me the side eye, but like I feel like I
I
like it
don't
when
agree with.
we.
There's no
I
stakes.
like seeing a parallel universe or a multiverse, like
Yeah,
where
I like
we
doing that
and
for an
I
episode or
dip,
two.
yeah, like dipping
Not
in and out. But
yeah, I don't want that to be a run. What I'm saying is, I don't want that to be a running
all
thing.
right, that's
Like, I don't want them
fair.
to
It can
create
be
the.
sort of a cop out. I get it from a storytelling. It can be
Yes.
sort of but it's still difficult to write. So it's
It's not, because I can kill you, and if I roll myself into a corner, it's like, oh, we can
I'm
just bring
gonna
them back in
I'm
episode
gonna I'm gonna
366.
have Dan Harmon call you and talk about how easy it is to write multiverse bullshit because it's
First of all, that's not even fair. Second of all, he's killed off Rick and Morty, and they've come back in other shit. So it's kind of still a cop out. If you're gonna kill a character, kill him for real, or don't, or do it sparingly. Don't fucking kill these people and
well,
then just bring every.
it looks like Rick's wife is dead in every dimension. So
Yeah, but
obviously there's
we
there
started off this series with her dying, and I would honestly wouldn't be surprised if in fucking where are we in season 5 now? I wouldn't be surprised if in this season or maybe the next season they'd be like, you know what, let's bring fucking whatever her face is in. So
Diane
like
Sanchez.
Diana is the mom.
Yeah, Diane is Rick's wife's name.
Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't bring her in like at some
They
point and
bet.
just
I
be
would
like.
love that actually, but they probably. I have a feeling they
But
won't.
my thing is, I don't have a beef with that. Is because we started off the series with her dead. So like, one, there were never any stakes with that anyway, because I don't even know who
They
this
never
character
say
is.
she's dead.
Fine, we have not been introduced to this character in the same way as everybody else. So with
Fair.
that being said, I don't have any investment in that. Whereas, like, if somebody makes a sacrifice or does something in a story and it's huge and it's impactful, I don't want that fucked with. Now, I will argue against myself and say, hey, if you don't want that, write your own fucking shit, which I do. But from just a fan standpoint, I don't really fucking want that, man. Like, that's the
I want
same
it
thing
all.
with fucking Game of Thrones. Like them
Oh
killing off,
boy. Wow. I'm gonna
spoiler
complain
alert,
about everybody.
John when they killed off Jon Snow and then brought him back, like I was really like, fuck, they killed off Jon Snow, like he was the one, and they brought him back. And we can argue that, they killed off so many people that we deserve one there, but it's just like it takes the fucking sacrifice away. I don't like that, because then
So
they're,
now
the
you're
stakes are
complaining
never
about
high.
the Jesus story. So does Jesus' sacrifice not count because he came back to
Man,
life?
fuck no.
well, there you go, people. We've taken down everybody. Rick and Morty, the Bible,
The only, you know what? I will argue this for
Game
the
of
Jesus thing,
Thrones,
so we can
the
end it.
Marvel, the
I will argue this
MCU.
for Jesus. The only
Everybody
thing
can
that
get
kind of
it.
helps his story is the fact that like he died and came back, and I guess nobody ever would have learned the lesson to like love one another if he didn't do all that. So
Are we
whatever.
loving one another? I don't know.
I'm just saying that's what like him coming back is like, you know, forgiveness and all that shit and showing them that there's a heaven. I guess like they needed a fucking
No, man, you
they
can't
needed
clean
an
it up.
Obi-Wan
You're right.
Kenobi
You're
moment.
right. It didn't count. Okay, so yeah, you're right. But even they, so you're okay with killing the character out, but they can come back as like a spirit ghost.
But not, I don't want that to be a main plot point. Like I don't always want them to be talking to like this person like you died. For instance, in Batman, like they fucking die. When they die,
Crap.
they die.
Okay, no, I really got to go for real because my battery's getting low, and if it
same here.
dies before this renders, everything's gone.
All right, well, hope you all enjoyed this.
Yeah, 5 stars.
See you soon. Peace.
Thanks. Bye.